Welcome to Hitman Boxing. So, we're coming off the Keith Thurman Danny Garcia fight. Keith Thurman wins the fight by split decision. I disagree with the ruling. I had Danny Garcia winning the fight. It's my opinion. It is what it is. If you got a problem with that, go fuck yourself. Now, we're looking into the future. Keith Thurman's already ducking the winner of Kell Brook and Errol Spence, and those two dudes haven't even fought yet. And I'm not even going to read off his statement because I don't read Keith Thurman's statements, but I'll paraphrase. He basically says he doesn't know what he wants to do next. He doesn't know when they could potentially make that fight. And why is that, Keith Thurman? You said you wanted to unify the division. You know, you got the WBC, you got the WBA belt. So, logical next step would be to probably fight a mandatory. I believe Lamont Peterson's going to be his mandatory. He's got the WBA, what is that, I guess their interim title. So, I mean, he's got a shot at Keith Thurman next probably. Keith Thurman claims that he's going to fight one more time in 2017. You know, I don't think that's going to happen. You know, he's been very inactive over the past couple of years. He's fought twice in the past 2 years, actually. So, you know, I'm not too believing that he's going to fight Lamont Peterson or anyone else for that matter this year. But if he does end up fighting someone, it will most likely be Lamont Peterson. And then he will probably, I don't know, not probably, but he's going to duck the winner of Kell Brook and Errol Spence. You know, personally, I don't think he beats either of those guys. But let's rewind a little bit, because Keith Thurman did say he was going to he said he would be open to giving Danny Garcia a rematch, which I feel he should, since he robbed Danny Garcia of that fight. You know, like I said, I had Danny Garcia winning the fucking fight. And, you know, Keith Thurman wins by split decision, whatever. I'm never going to admit the opposite. I'm sticking to what I'm saying because that's what I truly believe. So, you know, give Danny Garcia a rematch. And depending upon what happens there, I mean, we could potentially have a trilogy. But he really said it's ultimately up to what the fans want to see. So, hey, we might not get that fight. We might get the fight. Now, moving on. We do need a unified welterweight champion. I couldn't tell you the last time we actually had one. You know, the other champions, you've got Manny Pacquiao, who holds the WBO title. You know, he's with Top Rank. He's 38. He's most likely not going to fight one of these young lions like Keith Thurman or Kell Brook or, whoever wins that fight between Kell Brook and Errol Spence. And then you got Kell Brook, who is the IBF champion. He's defending his title against Errol Spence in May, I believe, in the UK. If you guys follow my channel, you know how I feel about that fight. I think Errol Spence is going to beat the fuck out of Kell Brook. But let's match Keith Thurman up against Kell Brook and Errol Spence. Whoever the winner is of that fight, Kell Brook is going to have to eventually make that fight. He's going to have to stop running. He's going to have to stop fucking hiding from these guys. You know, he needs to stop going into hiding in Florida, man. You know, you got your little check. You starting to rock vape and shit. You know, you a fucking lame, dude. But as far as Kell Brook and Errol Spence are concerned, you know, both of those guys, in my opinion, would beat Keith Thurman. You know, Keith Thurman's an undersized welterweight. He's 5'7". He's a fucking midget. You know, Kell Brook and Errol Spence are really big welterweights. You know, Keith Thurman couldn't even knock Danny Garcia down. In fact, Keith Thurman hasn't had a knockout in a long fucking time. So I really don't think his power would be that much of a factor in a fight against Kell Brook and Errol Spence. You know, a lot of people feel like Kell Brook is the number one welterweight right now. And in my opinion, he's a better boxer than Keith Thurman. He's got just as much, if not more power than Keith Thurman. I think he'd walk through Keith Thurman's punches, to be honest with you. I don't think Keith Thurman could hurt him, man. And as far as Errol Spence is concerned, you already know what happens if he fights Errol Spence. Spence gonna cut that ring off, get his ass on the fucking ropes, go straight to the body. And you know what happens when you go to the body on Keith Thurman. He fucking collapses. He almost took a knee against Collazo. But no, Keith Thurman is not the best welterweight right now. So if you're thinking that, think again, man. He just got one good win at 147. Two good wins. Danny Garcia, Sean Porter. All right? So he's going to step up in competition and potentially fight Kell Brook. In fact, Kell Brook says that he wants to fight Keith Thurman before he moves up in weight. But, you know, Keith Thurman want to let the fight marinate. You know, that's a funny term to use nowadays. Let the fight marinate. That means let a motherfucker get old so you can take advantage of his ass, right? Let it marinate. Look, Keith Thurman don't want to fight either one of them two motherfuckers, man. We know he already ducked the fight with Errol Spence. Keith Thurman was given the opportunity to fight Errol Spence on Floyd Mayweather's undercard for one of his belts, and he declined. What does that tell you? He don't never mention Kell. He rarely mentions fucking Kell Brook in interviews. He don't ever call Kell Brook out. You know, he said he got on the elevator with Kell Brook and he was just amazed at how big Kell Brook was. Pause. You fucking scared of Kell Brook. And you scared of fucking Errol Spence. Because they beat the fuck out of you. And you're probably not going to give Danny Garcia a rematch. Because he probably beat the fuck out of you in the second fight. At least that's my opinion. Look, I don't know why y'all believe in this motherfucker. It's like he's y'all Jesus or something, man. It's like he's y'all savior. Y'all boxing savior. And I don't get it. I don't see what's so great about Keith Thurman. You know, he fucking runs. You know, he tries to get a couple of good punches and then he fucking runs again. He don't get knockouts. Well, I don't get what's so great about Keith Thurman. I'm not impressed. He need to stop using that one-time shit because he not knocking motherfuckers out no more. Motherfuckers was saying he was going to stop Danny. You literally had a debatable fight with Danny Garcia. You fucking lost that fight, Keith Thurman. You need to go ahead and give him a rematch. And I don't give a fuck what none of y'all say. I ain't changing shit. I know what the fuck I saw. So, we still looking into the future. Keith Thurman versus Kell Brook or Errol Spence. And you know what? Matter of fact, I don't even care who wins that fight between Kell Brook and Errol Spence. Because it really don't matter. Because the winner of that fight is going to be dubbed by Keith Thurman. And then when they do get into the ring with Keith Thurman, they're going to beat the fuck out of him. Kell Brook knocked this motherfucker out. And we know Errol Spence will knock this motherfucker out. Keith Thurman's about to cherry pick for a couple of years. Watch what the fuck I tell you. He ain't looking for no more big fights. He looking for easy fights. He looking for fights where he can get a knockout. Or run some laps around the motherfucking opponent. Yeah, get in the ring with Lamont Peterson because that motherfucker can box. You know, he probably end up beating Lamont Peterson, but that's not an easy fight for him. That's a tough fight. I'm sick of hearing about all this Keith Thurman bullshit, man. He ain't that nice. He's not that nice at welterweight. This guy's a career welterweight. Does he plan on staying at welterweight for the rest of his career? A lot of motherfuckers move up in weight. Why don't you move up to... You know what? I ain't going to get into that. Not even going to get into him moving up. Not even going to do that shit. You know, he's undersized already, right? So he should just stay at 147 for the rest of his career. Shit. You don't want Terrence Crawford moving up to 147, do you, Keith? That's another problem if he decided to move up. That's another motherfucker that'll beat your ass. But like I said, Keith Thurman about to cherry pick at 147. Let me know who y'all think Keith Thurman's going to fight next. I say Lamont Peterson. That's the logical fight for him, right? He's not going to do a Danny Garcia rematch, even though he stands to make more money than he's ever made in his life. I think they both made $2 million for the fight, which is pretty cool. But it was a fucking robbery. So y'all saying that Keith Thurman won that fight is like saying Andre Ward beat Sergey Kovalev. It's fucking bullshit. Fucking preposterous, man. But hey, I don't know shit about boxing. I just watch this shit. You know? Y'all listening to me, man. It is what it is. So you got a problem with the fuck I'm saying? Go ahead and make your own YouTube channel and drop your own comments. Make your own fucking videos. And maybe you'll get a following as nice as mine. So go ahead and drop a comment. Like the video. Dislike the video. I really don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. Not a Keith Thurman fan. He's a fucking fraud. Y'all need to stop believing in this motherfucker, man. He's going to let you motherfuckers down in the long run. He's going to get knocked out sooner or later. Trust me, he's ducking Kell Brook and or Errol Spence? Drop a comment. I'm out.